Này cái nhé, nó cái lía chướng ấy nữa.
Welcome back, everyone. The line between reality and illusion is sometimes as thin as a camera frame. Today's bizarre phenomena will leave you questioning everything. Hit that subscribe button, drop a like, and join me as we explore these unsolved mysteries.
Somebody let me know, what is this? It's half turtle, half I don't know what the...
Annual gathering of 2 million feathered members just officially turned the entire land into a squawking sea of snow. Sometimes nature's most breathtaking abstract art is painted by the exhausted wings of migrating birds. This red-clad army is ready to brave every danger just to make it to the most important date of their lives on time. The skies over Thailand just treated tourists to an apocalyptic show of 4 waterspouts at once. If you've ever felt like someone was watching you in the dark, this strange phenomenon is the ultimate proof. Modern video editing makes it all too easy to fool those looking for baseless supernatural signs. Instead of hiding, this 8-legged gentleman decided to rock a human face, daring the entire internet to test its courage. Thanks to a fake jacket frame that stays locked in place. All the magician had to do was bend over to pull off this mind-bending optical illusion. This freakish flexibility is actually the result of a lack of crosslinks within the body's collagen fiber network. Heavy carbon dioxide sinks deep into the cave floor, pushing out all the oxygen and snuffing out the flame the second it touches down. Tens of thousands had their Hogwarts tickets ready until reality poured cold water all over their wizarding dreams. In your opinion, are realistic CGI effects sparking our imagination, or are they just making us easier to fool? A simple riverside picnic instantly turned into an international press conference on the most mythical creature in American history.
Bruh, What kind of... Get this chicken. Just that snatcher mix.
This albino soft-shelled turtle's unusual pinkish-white skin comes down to an extremely rare genetic mutation.
Somebody let me know, what is this? It's half turtle, half I don't know what the...
Mother Nature must have mixed up the kitchen with the ocean when she baked a starfish that looks just like a cookie. Nature's design department clearly ran out of ideas when they gave the shingleback lizard a tail that looks identical to its head. Hit subscribe right now to unlock the secret behind how this bird hovers without even flapping its wings. Forget the broom. This is the ultimate yard cleaning hack that every lazy leaf sweeper needs right now. This prayer flag tower brings together 5 colors, representing the elements sending tens of thousands of peaceful wishes up into the sky. If you want to experience what it feels like inside a giant walk-in freezer, this is your ultimate spot. I honestly can't believe a dog managed to scale a 140-meter sheer cliff all by itself. Can anyone explain this to me? A colossal statue that ruins every selfie angle unless you're willing to fly miles away to snap the shot. The seamless blend of raw natural power and human ingenuity created one of the greatest waterway engineering marvels ever built.
Bruh.
Upward lightning strikes when positive charges from the volcano's peak shoot straight up into the negatively charged storm clouds above. Drop your thoughts in the comments and tap that bell icon because nature never stops blowing our minds. The ground tremors in Venezuela were triggered by a sudden shift in underground tectonic plates. A fantastic way to test your smartphone's water resistance and the reflexes of anyone standing way too close to the shore. The meteor blazed through the atmosphere at over 30,000 mph before exploding and sending a powerful shockwave down to the ground. The perfect mix of burning oil vapor and oxygen generates a stable fire vortex for a few brief seconds.
ওটা গেল কোথায়?
Do you think this was a staged prank, or did a real supernatural entity actually pay a visit?
Nó nữa nó giờ bé thua cứ tìm không mua cho sắp lời lên thưa là bỏ là có like có share đâu nữa có like có share comment tôi nâng tao đâu nữa nè nữa ấy lúc bao giờ nó giờ này ấy cho mua chế này à.
The Kumpo is a sacred guardian spirit of the Jola people in West Africa, brought to life through a spinning dance to ward off evil spirits. Environmental factors and congenital mutations are the main culprits behind bizarre structural deformities in livestock. Marmoset monkeys are among the smallest primates on the planet, known for their oversized ears and distinct hairless faces. Proof that as long as you have a unique face, you don't have to do a thing to become an overnight internet sensation. The red gurnard features modified pectoral fin rays that act like walking fingers, letting it crawl along the seafloor while sensing prey. The shoebill stork is famous for its massive shoe-shaped bill and its habit of standing motionless for hours to ambush fish. During their spawning ritual, marine worms swim in tight circles and release glowing fluids to guide their eggs. The cat-tine leaf insect is a rare endemic species, sporting a flattened body and vein patterns that mimic green leaves with pinpoint accuracy. An ancient, isolated mansion where you're guaranteed to never deal with noisy neighbors or rush hour traffic. Gansu province is home to the world-famous Danxia Geopark, renowned for the seamless sweeping folds of its magnificent Rainbow Mountains. No fight ring needed, these two mighty yaks settle the score for dominance with thunderous headbutts. I'm pretty sure pedestrian insurance doesn't cover getting launched into the air by a pair of four-legged heavyweight contenders. Large-scale artisanal mining destabilizes natural bedrock, triggering massive sudden landslides. If you've ever wondered what hitting the Powerball jackpot looks like in real life, it's barely dodging this boulder. A massive sinkhole swallowed the parking lot whole. Local authorities are now investigating the road construction crew's liability. The usually bustling streets of Las Vegas were quickly submerged in floodwaters, throwing traffic into complete chaos in no time. If this moment reminds you of a personal story, feel free to drop even a piece of it below. The seamless dance between shifting sand dunes and Xinjiang's underground aquifers carved out this breathtaking eye of the desert. Massive basalt columns formed from volcanic lava create Iceland's otherworldly landscape and draw in huge crowds. Scorching temperatures hitting 140 to GF and rock-crushing pressure. Welcome to the gold mine, 2.5 miles beneath Yaren's surface. Have you ever been lucky enough to spot a full 360-degree circular rainbow in real life? Take a closer look. This isn't CGI, but an artificial heart built entirely from lab tubes and wires. The half-moon Beta turns heads with its densely layered, ruffled fins, creating a flowing visual effect just like an evening gown. Acreoptera manga is a stick insect endemic to Madagascar, famous for its males sporting an electric blue color rarely seen in the insect world. Have you or your hometown ever had to deal with stream waters rising and completely wiping out the roads like in this video?
No, que sea, no, pero, cacha, güey, mire. Es como una ola que viene ahí.
Una ola fuerte, un pedazo.
No, estar atento para allá, ¿no? Se fueron para abajo los vehículos. Mira, Cristian, la que viene ahí arriba, mira.
Braving the violent currents of the Bayan River, SDRF forces used heavy-duty zip lines to pull every single victim to absolute safety onshore. A massive 7.4 magnitude jolt from deep within Colombia powerful enough to turn reinforced buildings into fragile dominoes. Without snapping in half or crumbling, the entire massive concrete structure was swallowed whole when the landslide completely wiped out its solid foundation. Turns out every species has its own drama that needs to be settled with fists. The most blatant and adorable highway robbery in history. A feathered inspector raids the car window, setting up a snack toll booth right in the middle of the road. A rare airglow phenomenon energy from upper atmospheric oxygen atoms triggers an electric green glow that blankets the night sky over Lenghu. After trekking across 5 mountain passes, the Danxia landform reveals itself with millions of years of breathtaking layered red sandstone strata. What would you rate the incredibly skilled and seamless portrait strokes of this talented elephant artist? Forget the Olympics. This is the real backflip champion right here. An endless loop with no way out, the ant mill death vortex that hypnotizes the colony into marching straight toward exhaustion. On a scale of 1 to 10, how creepy is this caterpillar painting to you?
Guys, baru kali ini nemuin ulat di pohon kopi.
Slow motion footage captures the ultra-rare spider lightning phenomenon with electrical branches spanning dozens of miles across the sky. A violent thunderstorm packed with hurricane-force wind gusts swept through Nanning, Guangxi, paralyzing traffic and leaving behind heavy damage. Torrential rain paired with violent winds battered Ribeirão Preto, Brazil, leaving widespread destruction across the city. A French-style afternoon tea suddenly turned into a classy sprint when the sky generously threw in a pounding hailstorm mid-thunderstorm.
Oh,
3, 2, 1, ready.
This white fury proves that no matter how good your snowboard is, you can't outrun a massive wall of snow.
There we go.
Yeah, we're fine. Okay, you're safe, okay?
Drop a comment on what blew your mind the most and support the channel so we can keep uncovering the raw power of nature.
You're safe, okay?
Turns out nobody is immune to a pretty face. Not even an alpaca with an afro can help itself. The dense cluster formation creates a warm microclimate, drastically cutting down the energy burned by each individual. This beach just turned into the most packed resort on the planet where heavyweights fight over every square inch just to catch some sun. The fear of the dark vanishes the second you realize thousands of drones are hovering right above your ceiling. A massive sea of pink is going down with tens of thousands of long-legged ladies gossiping for hours without their knees giving out. Iridescent clouds form when microscopic ice crystals diffract sunlight at the exact right angle. Breathtaking beauty paired with deadly risks serves as a heavy reminder to always respect nature's boundaries.
Vai cair tudo! Tá chovendo peixe! Olha isso!
Corre, corre!
Cai da rua! Cai da rua!
Ai, vai o tamanho dele!
Cuidado! Misericórdia! Ai, meu Deus! Tá tremendo! Olha o céu! Tá caindo peixe!
Ai, meu Deus!
This incredible rain wall. One side is so
They are only a few steps apart, yet they look like two completely different worlds, and that invisible dividing line is the hardest part to believe.
just meters away. Evaporates the drops before they hit the ground. Same storm, two different weather zones.
At first glance, it looks like a highway running straight into the water. This strange scene in Guizhou leaves one question: where exactly does the road end? If you are not completely confident behind the wheel, the roads of Yunnan Guizhou and Sichuan will definitely make you think twice before making the trip. With more than 700 mm of rain falling on GOJ, this is no ordinary downpour. It is sustained pressure on the entire landscape. The flooding in West Virginia shows that sometimes a safe shelter is only safe until nature decides to change the rules. Some warning signs require an expert to interpret, but the sounds coming from that hillside are pretty clear. This is not the time to stick around and investigate. A full day of marketing might not work as well as this customer simply walking in. Sometimes the best business strategy is just meeting the right person. Nobody wants a trip to end next to a light pole, but in this situation it was a much better place for the car to stop. Luck definitely played a part, but if those reflexes had been a few seconds slower, luck probably would not have had much left to work with. If the bird world had a Met Gala, the Lady Amherst's pheasant would not need a stylist. This guy comes dressed for the red carpet. Deep in a South American forest. A sound echoes as if it came from something much larger, but the owner is actually a capuchin bird looking for a mate. If you saw this face in the dark, you might think you had discovered a new species. It is actually just a Damascus goat. That is some seriously dedicated delivery service. The only problem is this guy treated the door like the finish line instead of the stopping point.
Mom! 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 Stop it!
With an entrance like that, I doubt it came over to greet the neighbors. It came to remind everyone who really runs the neighborhood. At Kamokana, lava meets the ocean in a showdown between two powerful forces, and clearly, neither side is interested in backing down. With no detour left and no time to wait, the hiking group at Glacier had to drive through the fire zone to make their way out. Among the boats of Xochimilco, Everything suddenly began rocking violently. Seconds later, they realized a magnitude 7.1 earthquake was shaking central Mexico.
What are the odds?
If you were shopping and the ground suddenly started shaking violently, what do you think your first reaction would be? I do not usually tell people to buy a lottery ticket, but after this one, the universe is sending a signal that is pretty hard to ignore. He won the gamble this time by running the red light. But traffic is not a casino, and luck does not guarantee another winning hand. This sky looks like it has a display glitch, but it is actually cirrocumulus undulatus. Sometimes nature does CGI better than Hollywood. If you enjoy moments like these, show the channel a little support. These unusual patterns form when waves traveling from different directions meet, causing the water to continually interfere and reshape the surface. It looks like a strange fireworks show in the rain until you realize electricity is arcing through the flooded area. An umbrella, a door, and a mechanism that looks surprisingly hard to figure out. Somehow that simplicity is exactly what makes you want to see how it works. A small design, but it solves the sorting problem in a surprisingly clever way. Your eyes rarely lie, but this scene definitely knows how to fool them. The impressive part is not just the fire, but the calm control it takes to turn something unpredictable into a perfectly timed performance. When floodwater picks up rocks and mud, the flow becomes much heavier and starts behaving more like a moving mass of material. No alarm and no time to prepare. In Bajura, a rock falling from above turned an ordinary stretch of road into a heart-stopping moment. When your survival instinct says run, but your content creator instinct whispers, hold on, this shot looks amazing. Instead of waiting for rocks to fall, unexpectedly crews remove unstable rock formations in advance. Sometimes breaking something apart is exactly how you protect people. Pereira had just been hit by a magnitude 7.4 earthquake, and the shaking reduced a building to rubble in what felt like an instant. If you had to witness one extreme natural event in real life, which one would you most want to stay far away from? Sometimes the most memorable goodbye does not need words. Ben Jackson let an entire field speak for him. Where is everyone watching from? Drop your city and state in the comments. No door and no key yet. The wind still made it into the hotel. Unfortunately, its check-in came with a pretty expensive repair bill. In less than a second, energy from the sky found its target, and the entire area lit up like daylight. What time of day do you usually like watching videos like this? A windshield is built to block the wind, but in Northwest Carolina that day, it unexpectedly had to double as a shield. One navigation problem in bad weather was enough to send the 147-meter Nawata boom into an unexpected stop along the West Bengal riverbank. No casualties were reported, but Guangan Bridge still had to close for inspection because an impact from a nearly 6,000-ton ship is nothing to take lightly. This New Year's fireworks show nearly lit up the entire sky. If you were standing here, who would you want beside you for this moment? This is the spectacular Tree of Life in Liuyang, where nearly 16,000 drones joined forces with fireworks to set 2 Guinness World Records. A predator and its prey, meeting with something that looks like a handshake. Sometimes nature writes a sweeter script than we ever could. This guy clearly put every skill point into reflexes, and nature just proved that was the right build. Today's Baseball Superstar Award officially goes to this four-legged athlete. The Camaro owner probably checked the weather forecast. Unfortunately, no app warned chance of a light pole dropping by. At 70 miles per hour, nature clearly does not care what belongs in your yard and what is supposed to stay put. Over the dark ocean, the sky suddenly opened with a streak of light. In an instant, millions of volts found a way to discharge. One look at his face and you know he is trying to make a wireless connection. Unfortunately, the other guy apparently never turned on Bluetooth. No safety line and no backup plan. Do you call this confidence from experience or seriously underestimating the risk? If this video gave you a few minutes to relax, do not forget to leave a like. It really does mean a lot. When your neighbor is a Siberian tiger, sometimes taking a few curious steps closer is the fastest way to discover you just had a terrible idea. When this giant loses its temper in the middle of the street, the entire crowd suddenly develops perfect teamwork without anyone giving orders. An out-of-control animal can cause serious consequences within seconds, which is why proper control always matters more than reacting after something happens. On Evia Island, Greece. The sun was still there, but smoke from the burning forests grew so thick it nearly erased it from the sky.
开始啦！ 我，哎，有点晃了，朋友们，哟呵，收，没收，哎呀。
Two people nearly paid the price for one overlooked support post. Sometimes cutting corners in construction creates the most expensive savings of all. Aging infrastructure is one thing. Knowing it is deteriorating and still letting people use it every day is far more concerning. It looks like a useless little bubble, but it is actually the secret that helps Anolis aquaticus disappear underwater when a predator shows up. Ever wondered what a short-armed squid looks like in a passport photo? Well, here is your answer. It hardly looks like a real creature, but sea cucumbers have been living on the ocean floor for hundreds of millions of years. The magnitude 7.1 earthquake near Kumamoto was powerful enough to crack open the Kyushu Expressway right in front of a dash cam. The magnitude 7.4 shaking near San Jose del Palmar was strong enough that part of a building in Cali could no longer remain standing. Just a few seconds later, and that motorcyclist could have been directly in the path of the entire mass of earth and debris. Once standing as tall as a building of more than 70 stories, these two massive smokestacks ended decades of service with a precisely planned demolition. After years of connecting both sides, this West Virginia bridge has finally reached the point where it has to make way for change. Why was demolition work being carried out next to a school while students were still there? The biggest concern is the CO2 cylinders that have not been properly quality tested because high-pressure equipment is not something you want to gamble with. When was the last time you checked your tire pressure? Don't wait until the tire reminds you like this. Fireworks are meant to light up the sky, but at this factory in Malta, all that energy was released right at ground level. I'm not sure whether to call this painting or split brain talent, because both hands seem to be drawing almost independently.
No.
This is no longer just stone carving. When precision meets patience, even a block of stone can become a work of art. Gayemi swept through the region with intense rain and powerful winds, causing severe damage in the Philippines before major flooding followed in Taiwan. Water suddenly burst from beneath a Chicago street as if the entire system under the city had overloaded all at once. Do you think you could outrun a wave charging toward shore like this?
Tá vindo água por tudo quanto é lago do mar, tá entrando na lagoa.
Heavy rain and strong winds can make trees unstable, so avoid walking or taking shelter beneath large trees during severe weather. Thanks for watching all the way through. Your support keeps us going as we track down and edit the wildest moments from around the globe. Don't hold back. Drop a comment and share your thoughts. See you in the next one.